Hi guys, and welcome to another Divi theme video. This is Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Well, we've got a slightly different take on something that we've done before. Here we've got some text, or a regular sort of text type block. When we hover over it, it's got an image, but we've actually got a link in the image. Now, having the link in the image is something that we've not done before. When you click on it, it'll take you to my YouTube channel. Really easy to do. Like I say, somebody was asking about putting a link on the actual image. So let's get started. First thing I'm going to do is enable the Visual Builder. And if you've watched any of my hover videos before, you're going to realize that the actual link itself isn't on the image. It's on the text module itself that we're making disappear. So let's add a module, and this will work with pretty much any module you want. I'm going to use a call to action. I'm not going to put a button on it. I'll leave everything as it is. But for the link that we want to put on the image, we'll put the link in the call to action in the module one. So I'll just paste my little YouTube link in there. I want it to open in a new tab because best practice, we're going off of the site, so it's best to link it in a new tab so our site stays open. So that's that first bit done, really easy. Okay, now for the image itself. Now again, if you've watched any of my videos before, the image actually resides in the column that the module is sitting in. So if I go up to our row now, the green tab for a row, blue tab for a section, dark tab for a module, green tab for the row, going to hit the little cog, go in there. We're on column 3 here. Column 1, 2, 3. If I go in there, we'll put the image in the background. Of course we won't see it because we've got something sitting on top of it. So let's add an image. Got color, gradient, image, or video if you want a video. And we'll pop an image in. Let's put that tree in there. And you can decide how it's going to display. Remember, it's going to display the size and shape of whatever module you've got over the top of it. So cover, I want it to cover, which is great. I'm going to have it centered, so it should show that tree, which is fairly central to the image there. Don't want it to repeat. And I've got no blend going on, because a blend is if you want to add a color and an image, you can blend them together. Okay, so we've got that in there. Like I said, you can't see it because our image is on top. Now, what do we want to happen with this? When we hover over it, we want the actual module to disappear and the image to reveal, and they can click on the link for the image there. Now, there's a couple of options of doing this. We can do it simply by going into Design. We'll go down to Filters. If we go down to opacity is see-throughness or transparency. Common to most Divi modules, just hover over the dark writing there, these icons will appear. If there's a little arrow, it'll give you the option to set a desktop state when your mouse is not on it, and a hover state when your mouse is on it. So when the mouse is not over it, we want to see the text module, and when the mouse is on it, we don't want to see anything. We want to see the image that's behind. So if we go to hover, we can set the opacity down to 0. That's great. Now, the other option is if you decided, quite often when I do these things, I like to see a bit of the image behind the text there. We can go to our background color there. I've left it as the default generic sort of background. Let's change the color. Something a little more palatable, like a blue. And it doesn't matter, you can do this with any color. Click on the color. And the right hand slider here, we can take down the opacity so we can see some of the image behind there. So take down as much as it is you want, but you want that writing to be very legible. And then when we hover over now, because we set the opacity to 0, this whole module will disappear and we'll see that image in its entirety, or at least this shape, this much of the image in its entirety. And we'll be able to click on it as we've put the link in this module. Although we can't see it because of the opacity, it's still actually there. So let's save this and check it out. Save draft or publish if you're ready. And let's exit the visual builder. And there it is. When I hover over it, we should see just the image. There's that nice image there. And as you can see by the hand icon, I can click on it and it'll open up the link that we put in there, the YouTube channel link. One other thing that I'll mention is if you want to slow this whole thing down, so that's happening pretty quick. That's happening actually at 300 milliseconds from one to the other, which is the default in Divi. If you want to slow it down, let's just enable the visual builder again quickly. Go into the module. And if we go over to our advanced, go down to transitions, there's the 300 millisecond default that Divi puts in there. You can slow it down by putting a higher value in. It's in milliseconds. Don't want any delay. If you want a delay, in other words, if you don't want it to happen as soon as they put their mouse on it, you can put a delay on there. And transition speed curve I tend to use for these hover effects is ease in and ease out. They're all slightly different, they're subtly different, and some will work better than others in various situations. So check them out and choose what's best for you. But ease in and ease out seems to work perfectly for me. And we'll save that. And just before we get out and check it, of course you can have it the other way around. For instance, if we go into our column again, or our row again, and go into column number 2, we'll put an image in there. You won't see it. We won't see very much of it because there's no content to show there. Well, let's just choose another image and put it in that middle column. Just put that one in right there. As you can see, you can't see anything because there's nothing in there at the moment. And again, I'll just save that. Save the row. We'll add that same module, call to action module. This time we'll do it the other way around. So you can see the image first, and then it'll pop up with the text here. And again, I'll just slap a link in there. So I'm going to go into link. I'm going to put it in the module, not the button. If you put it in the button link, for instance, if I put it there, a button's going to appear. Now you may want that. This will work for this way round, but for this way round it won't, because that's going to disappear and they won't see the button. I mean, it'll still work, but there's no point in having a button. So let's get rid of that and we'll put it in the actual module again. For the background itself, let's make it purple just for fun. And again, I'll take a little bit of the opacity down. See some of that image behind there. And we'll go to our design and the filters. This time, we want 0 opacity on desktop. Here's our opacity. Hover over, get the little arrow again. Desktop will have it 0, so we just see the image itself. Then when we hover over, we'll take that back up to 100%. So we've got the module and we can click on it either. And again, we'll slow it down for a bit of effect. Transitions, take it up to whatever you want. And ease in, ease out. We're good to go. So let's save this and make sure everything's going to work okay on the first end, on the front end. Save draft or publish if you're ready. And exit the visual builder. Okay, so there's our one that's back to front. So we've got the image initially, and we hover over, we got the text, and we've got a link there, as you can see, for the arrow. And here's the opposite. We've got the text first with a bit of the image showing through. When we hover over, we got the image, and you can click on it. So there you go, guys. That's how easy it is to do that great little hover effect. I hope you've enjoyed this today and found it useful. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. Ring the bell, comment, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Once again, this has been Jamie with System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.